Whoa. Whoa! We're buzzing her up today on the program.
We got the buzz.
Whoa! Yeah. Whoa, what is all this buzzing coming from? Maybe. Okay, well, we're on the program once a day, every day, turning machines, and then we start talking. We're going to be here for
1 solid hour.
It's right. It's not minute bird. Bird's at a minute.
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
60 entire, complete, full minutes. So.
Like 60 minutes, yeah. That's.
That you just can't handle it.
Can you handle it?
I don't know. Can you?
Can you handle the truth? That's what Bird says. Can't handle the truth. It's Monday.
Well, the truth can be hard sometimes.
Can you hand me that burrito?
Yeah.
Over there?
I will hand you the burrito.
Today is is it charged up? Today is Monday, and we're on the program again. It's it's very hot outside today. We're in the summer. We're into the summertime, so
Yeah.
I think is it July? It's July for us now.
Ah, my painting. How nice.
How are you doing today, Dan?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I've had some significant changes in my life, and I think they're good, and they're certainly different.
Yeah.
Oh man, that umbrella makes me feel all patriotic and shit.
Yeah. It is the.
Whoa! Whoa!
So what's the change?
My daughter, she is divorcing her husband and moving up to Olympia. She's already moved. And she's staying with me until she finds good work and has enough to pay for an apartment.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and she has a 5-year-old son named Xander. And we are now full-fledged buddies.
You've been living with a 5-year-old?
For 2 days. Yeah. Yeah. He's pretty cool. He asks so many questions. He's like, what's this? How come that? Why is this? But he doesn't have the attention span really to endure the full answer. So I'm learning how to super simplify the responses that I give.
Yeah.
So.
You tend to even say things that are longer than regular adults can handle sometimes.
I am an over-explainer for sure. I've known this for years. I have driven so many people crazy. They ask a simple question, I give them an overcomplicated answer.
Yeah.
And I have to stop and think and then simplify it in my head before I can answer it. And sometimes that takes a little while, and then at that point they have become bored and disinterested in whatever answer that they were wanting. So it's a learning thing for me, and it's really good because, let's say I go back to school to become a teacher. What if I start teaching kids science? Then I have to explain things in a way that is simple and sufficient and factual. Yeah, so the other thing is I like to joke a lot, and he's learning when I'm joking and when I'm serious. He jokes a lot. He often jokes. So I'm learning his. And Chris and I, we just get along all the time.
That's good.
All the time. So yeah, there's no problem there. And so she's going today to see if she can get food stamps and WIC maybe. He's
WIC?
5. I don't know how old you have to be, what the cutoff point for WIC, because WIC pays for milk and eggs and bread and
for babies?
Staples. Yeah, children. Children. It's a federal assistance program for poor families.
No, he's still definitely a child.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Have you seen this kid before?
When he was 3 months old.
So he doesn't remember.
No, if he did remember, it would be some kind of trauma, and that wouldn't be good. So, we tend to remember our traumas more than the average things that happen day to day, because they're not of note. And whenever there's some big emotional thing that happens, and for some reason they get stuck in our mind, we remember them well. So yeah, and most of my earliest memories are traumatic.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well. Yeah, and then other ones, they're just kind of random. It's weird that I remember them. I don't know why. They're just some random event that makes, it's like, oh, So, we'll get him registered for school, and
5-year-olds are just getting into kindergarten then, huh?
I think he's probably ready for first grade. His birthday's coming up soon.
Did he already go to kindergarten now?
Preschool, yeah.
You got to go to kindergarten first before you go to first grade.
See you later, Bird. Are you leaving?
Bye.
See you later, kids.
Over there, yeah. Bird's over there. You can't see him.
Yeah, he's in the distance.
So he's gonna skip kindergarten or what? Or you gotta go to kindergarten first?
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing.
You have kindergarten in Canada?
Well, he's been living in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Utah, Chris has hated Utah. She's been living there for 5 years, right? Last time I saw her and Xander was 5 years ago, and she left, and she got married, and she's been working at Walmart the whole time. And it was okay at first, but then she learned that they have a lot of... Walmart is really punitive. If you miss too many days over a certain period of time, or you have too many things, like 3, 2 or 3 of this or 2 or 3 of that, and you miss too many, and you get coached, meaning, oh, missed a day, and it goes on your record, and then you can't transfer, you can't move to a different area or department, you can't, there's all these restrictions that go into place when you are coached for, some infraction of some kind, some arbitrary infraction. And they change. The policy changes. And they do this regularly, and it keeps folks off balance because they don't know. They might get paperwork or an email or something, but she was always like, oh, they just changed the rules again. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, yeah, I found out because I did this thing, and I found out that they changed the rules, and I wasn't supposed to do that.
Well.
So yeah, Walmart's not nice. They tend to promote males over females. They tend to pay males more than females. And
they're notorious for bad treatment towards their employees.
Yeah. And what's so funny, in a lot of states, especially in the southern states, when you start working for Walmart, you go to a training, and they teach you how to apply for food stamps and welfare benefits because they don't pay you enough.
Yeah.
And so in this way, Walmart is subsidized through taxes.
Yeah.
They essentially, we're only going to pay you this tiny amount, and the rest of what you need to be able to live, to pay for rent and food and gas and all that, you get from the government, because we just won't pay you an extra $1 an hour.
Yeah, well, some people would say that that's because the government programs exist, and that, if they exist, then that's what the corporations should be doing. If they're paying, that little. That's a kind of, because the programs exist, and then Walmart will do anything they can to exploit anything.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the programs too.
Well, Walmart doesn't create the program. It exploits the program.
Well, the programs already exist, and...
Well, yeah, but they only exist because people don't get paid enough. Because corporations don't pay them. It's a cycle, really. It's like, I don't put responsibility on the program, because you think if generally the Republicans generally try and remove these kinds of programs. They try and get rid of them. They try and reduce them. And, especially in the southern states, they try and remove or reduce or decrease or whatever. And so, these people working at Walmart, they go to apply for benefits, and it's, instead of $100 in food stamps for the month, it's $50 or $25.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Yeah, I wonder what would happen for 6 months if all those programs, especially, folks with kids, and that's really what the programs are focused on, is having enough food for the kids.
They would be hungry.
Yeah, it's one thing for a working adult to be hungry. They have the option of working and making money to some degree, but children don't.
Yeah.
Children can't get a job. Of course, if they change the laws and make it so that we can have child labor, then they could work and make
it's
their
a
own money.
solution then.
Yeah.
No, they shouldn't. Kids shouldn't be doing that.
I agree. That would be terrible.
Time for the dice game.
Are you ready to win? Are you ready to win? Okay, write a number. I did already. You can see the number right there. Okay, I shall roll the yellow dice.
Here we go.
Because yellow is my favorite color. It makes me all happy. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's the sun color. It's so sunny. Maybe your daughter came up, or I lost.
I lost 2.
Out of 5.
Oh, FML.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to see mine? Show mine.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Wait.
It's a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it?
There, let me go. Right there.
Yeah, it's red though. You can kind of see it. I think this camera looks a little hazy. Maybe it's
Got goo on it?
something. I think
got a
it's
napkin?
in the heat. I think it's the heat is
Humidity
yeah.
and such. Oh, it just focused, so.
Did your daughter come up here from Utah?
Yeah.
And then right when she got here, it was right in the middle of the heat.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I can't get away.
Yeah. Well, I had the fans blowing. Like in my apartment, I have the living room window and the bedroom window, and they're on opposite sides. And so what I do is I turn on the fan and have one blowing out, and then I just open up the other window, and cool breeze just flows in.
Uh-huh.
So the living room cooled down to about 70 or so, 65, 70. I don't think it got lower than 70. And right before I went to bed at like 3 or so, then I just turn off the fan, close up the windows, and wake up in the morning. It's nice and cool. And it'll stay cool in my apartment all day.
Yeah, that's good.
And then probably 7 or 8, it kind of warms up consistent with the temperature outside. Open up the windows, turn on the fans, away we go. We do it all again. But my apartment is on the bottom floor, and it's nestled between 2 apartments and below an apartment. So there's an insulation factor that happens for my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So you don't get the sun directly on your place there.
No, not at all. And there's a building right behind it, and that just is all shady all the way. The sun hits it in the morning, but not for very long, maybe for a couple hours. So, yeah.
It's been very hot.
Now, also, today is Canada Day.
Oh, yeah? Well,
July 1st.
We got this American stuff back here. Maybe we should take it down, huh? Do Canada stuff.
No, I forgot to bring damn it, I should have grabbed all my Canadian stuff.
So
I have a big white Canadian shirt.
That's for us, not for the viewers, though?
No, that's right. That's
You missed it.
By time, when you watch this episode, I should have checked.
You were here last week? Yeah, you could have done it. We could have done it. The Canada special. Well, it doesn't matter. We can do it today because nobody cares about Canada Day here, so we can just say it's today anyway.
I care.
Yeah.
I care.
What are you going to do for Canada Day? Eat pancakes?
Well, I didn't get paid today.
Be polite.
This is the first today, and I didn't get paid, and so something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When I get home, I'll call and say, "What the butter mutter?
Yeah.
What's going on?"
Yeah.
So I'll call. I got sunburned too.
Oh,
Yeah, I got pretty sunnied. Yeah, I'll call and find out what's going on.
I'll
probably get paid tomorrow.
You didn't get sunscreen?
Usually what I do is I just make sure I'm not out in the sun more than 45 minutes. And so I never get that scorching burn. I will get a little pink stuff, but I won't get burned. You know. And last night, or yesterday, me and Chris and Xander, we went to Tumwater Falls, and I met with my other daughter and her partner. And so it was kind of a family thing.
When I was doing it,
semi sort of sisters. They're not in any way genetically related at all. Because Chris, I married Chris's mom when Chris was 5. So she's not genetically my daughter, but
so those are two.
Yeah, and Catherine.
2 daughters from 2 different marriages who are not really actually your daughters.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
However, I did that when I was doing the mental health news hour with the 2 puppets. They were the sock puppets for about 6 months.
Both of them?
Oh yeah. Oh, it was hilarious. They had these high-pitched voices, and I had to like talk really loud into my microphone because their voices, their carried so loudly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the only one with a mic, and they were loud enough that the mic picked them up no problem.
Wow.
And I had a lot of people saying, I can't hear what you're saying because the sock puppets are so mudda loud.
Yeah.
So, but it was funny. They just would go back and forth and comment and insult each other. It was hilarious. And I really want to do, now that Chris is back, I really want to do another mental health news hour
I would
with
like
them
to
as
see
sock
that.
puppets. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a special mental health.
Yeah. That would trip me out. I used to watch you on that show all the time.
Yeah, I had so much fun doing it. I was highly motivated, and I'm not nearly as motivated now.
What happened to all those tapes? Did you,
I have a box full of the VHS tapes of mental health news, and I really, really want to put them on YouTube.
Yeah, put them on YouTube.
Yeah, so, and then I have a box full of mini DVDs of all the shows I did.
Wow.
So it's really a matter of just capturing them. And
You're at the TCTV place a while. You could do it.
Yeah, I really should. Just, every shift I'll go in and capture one and get it on some mystery hard drive.
Yeah.
And then edit it in X. I like X. I've gotten to know X real good now, and I'm really comfortable with it. I can just go in there. I can help people now. They're like, I can't do this and I can't do that. Yeah, I got a call. It's funny. Some people will call me at home when they got the laptop and they're working on X and it's not working for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had Janet call me twice.
Yeah.
How do I get this? How do I do that? And I know the program well enough that I could walk her through it on the phone.
Wow.
I didn't have to be sitting in front of it looking at it. I know where stuff is, and I know how it functions, and I know how to make it work. Freddie knows it better than anyone at the station.
Yeah.
Because he's just explored it back and forth and upside down. He learned how to do stuff before anyone else.
Yeah, he's good at it.
Yeah, he's smart.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, he's good. So anyway, Canada Day.
Yeah, what do we do on Canada? You guys blow up stuff up there?
Well, it's really funny. I read a little history and I posted it on Facebook so anyone can look at the history. Canada was politically or governmentally linked to Britain, and it wasn't until like 1968 or something that Canada officially became independent.
1968?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it became an independent nation.
Before that, it was just kind of independent, but it just didn't say anything about it?
It was a vassal state. Canada could pass all kinds of federal legislation, but it had to be approved by the British Parliament.
Oh,
and
really?
they pretty much rubber stamped anything. Canada has had an extremely friendly relationship with Britain.
Yeah.
Britain has been Canada's biggest trading partner. The Queen comes to visit. Everybody loves her. Blah blah blah. The prince and princesses and all that, they come to visit. And everyone swoons. It's really, ooh, the Queen. Hello.
So people like it up there. That's kind of.
Yeah.
But the United States, we fought them off, huh?
Well, the history, I think I've talked about this on the program before. During the American Revolution, all the people that were loyal to the British government moved to Canada. And before that, it was French. It was primarily French, but thousands and thousands and thousands of them moved up to Canada. The official language became English. The official government became English. And it's part of the reason why the French are so resentful. It goes back 200, 300 years, a long time. So French Canadians don't generally favor the English Canadians. They are very, very exclusive French. And what's really interesting is the French Canadian sounds very, very different than the French. Just like the Louisiana French, is very different. It's its own dialect, really. And they can speak to each other and they understand each other, but it's like two people speaking English, but one is American and the other, no. One would be a Texas English and the other would be deeply Australian English, where nouns are different, right? The names of things are different. The pronunciation of different, like in Canada, it's processed. It's processed cheese.
Processed, not processed. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of different words.
6, 5,
Hey, it's info time.
Info time.
We'll
Okay.
know about this after the
I'm
info
going to
time.
attempt it. Here we go.
Now it's info time.
Going to read the third line. Here are answers to some frequently asked questions about the program. You're watching it right now. It's called Your Daily Hour with Me. It's a call-in television talk show that's filmed right here in Thurston County, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every night at 11:30 at TCTV Channel 22. The episode airs a week after it's filmed and at 11:30. I always get this part. If you are watching at 2 a.m., the episode taped the same day of the month of the previous year. You can also watch any of the episode on YouTube. Anyone can be on the program, especially you. Your Daily Hour with Me relies for the community for content. 360-836-4384. Leave a message. We'll call you back while we are on the episode. Thank you for watching, and now back to the program. I did better that one.
Yeah.
There's a couple spots where the words bunch up, and there's a lot of syllables, and it's hard to read or speak quickly. Yeah. So anyway, in 1968, there was a political thing, and Canada says we want to be a sovereign nation, and Britain said, yeah, okay. And up until that time, too, it's
They just said
fascinating.
okay, they weren't...
Oh, yeah. It's like, listen, we are going to be friends, but we need to be independent. We can't rely on Britain to approve our laws.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be independent making laws, and that's really what it was about. And up until that time, the Canadian flag was a Union Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a flag, and it had, God, I don't even remember what it looked like. But it had the little lion, the little unicorn, right? The little British symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And it had these stripes, like the what was a southern flag called?
The Confederate flag?
Yeah. They're similar. There were similar kind of colors and tones and little stars and stuff like that. And there was an image in the upper corner, just like the American flag, right, in the upper left-hand corner, and then a bunch of other stuff down below. And then there was a contest in Canada to create the new Canadian flag.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how that worked. It's been a long time since I read it. I don't remember how it happened, but it was a contest. And I think it was school children or people submitted possible colors. And so they picked the Canadian flag with the two red stripes and the maple leaf in the center, and the red and the white and the red stand for something, and the red maple leaf stands for something.
Mm-hmm.
In Eastern Canada, maple syrup is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big thing, and I think that was a representative of the maple
whole
leaf.
country's big on maple syrup
Why
now.
it was red, I don't know. Canada, up until Bush, when did Bush get elected? The second Bush. Bush 2. 1990?
No, that was Bush 1 was 1990.
Okay.
Clinton was, I think, 92 to 98?
Yeah.
Or no, wait, let's see.
2000. 2000 was the big thing.
I think
with
2000 was
Gore.
George Bush.
Yeah.
George Bush was 2000, 2008.
Yeah. So right around that same time, the president, like here in the States, the president, the Congress, and the Senate were all Republican controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed a lot. Things really changed.
In 2000,
otherwise.
yeah.
Yeah, and a similar change took place in Canada. And the government became very conservative, and up until that point, Canada had a lot of, not so much now, but Canada had a lot of social programs. It was very high taxes, but a lot of programs for people. The insurance still works the same way. In fact, the Obamacare is very, very much like Canadian insurance. Everybody has to have it. And if you're below a certain income threshold, you don't have to pay for insurance, and there's a cap on how much you pay depending on your income, and so there's this cap.
Mm-hmm.
The American one relies on corporations to provide the health care, whereas in Canada there's a lot more pooling of insurance, and so it's a lot less expensive in Canada. And it's like you can go to any doctor in Canada and see him, and your insurance covers it. Here you need all kinds of approval, and the insurance company
You
kind
go
of
to really expensive doctors, or they don't have expensive doctors in Canada?
Not so much. The waiting period is a little longer because the insurance is less expensive. People can opt for more procedures that are less critical.
Do the doctors get paid less in Canada, or?
No, they're the same. Teachers get paid more. Unions are stronger. People have a higher income generally in Canada than they do here in the U.S.
That's one thing people keep saying about the insurance thing, is that people are going to be less inclined to become doctors if this whole insurance thing comes through.
Really? Because they won't get paid as much?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or anything, but I've heard that on the news.
I would say that that's speculative.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, things are a little different medical-wise, but for the most part, the unemployment is similar, inflation is similar, food is similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they gain independence there, and with 68?
Yeah, so Canada got a different flag, it became independent, and a few years later, Canada Day was, not Victoria Day, it was, it had some other name. And every year after Canada Day became official, July 1st, the celebrations get bigger and louder and more festive and more fun. When I was a kid on Canada Day, people would drive around in their cars with giant flags, yelling and screaming and honking their horns. Yay! Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
We should do that in the States.
Yeah, July 4th. Just huge American flag. Yeah, so in fireworks, too, early on in the early 70s, fireworks in Edmonton, the city I grew up in, were banned. Mm-hmm. You could have the official large displays done by the city or large companies could do it with permits.
Yeah.
But fireworks became illegal when I was very young, in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and right around that time, too, it was in the mid-70s, there was a terrorist organization called the FLQ, and they were French Canadians, and they wanted Quebec to secede.
That's nice.
And there were 2 or 3 large events by French Canadians.
French Canadian terrorists?
Yeah. They kidnapped 2 or 3 government officials, and they killed one.
What?
And they ended up, they took them hostage, essentially. And they said, you do what we want or else we'll kill them. And one of them they killed. And 2 of them they let them go.
French.
Yeah, and Canada went under martial law.
Whoa.
Yeah, 1976, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was martial law all over Canada, even though the acts of kidnapping and murder and stuff happened in Ontario, in Toronto or Ottawa or something like that. Yeah. So it was based over in the eastern country, but it was martial law was all over. There was a curfew, and we saw military vehicles driving around, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, the Canadian Army got to do something.
Well, the Canadian Army is tiny. The Canadian Navy is like Canada combined all of its armed forces, and it's just the Canadian Armed Forces. And there's a naval wing and an air wing, and a marine kind of thing and an army thing. And there's all the different kind of units within the armed forces that land, sea, air, that sort of thing. But Canada does not have an aircraft carrier. Mm-hmm. It does not have battleships. It has cruisers and minesweepers and small skimmers and schooners and small ships. Canada has probably 30 fighter jets. Yeah. It probably has 2 bombers. It has probably maybe 100 tanks. It has mostly most of the Canadian armies, right? The armed forces are the kinds of vehicles and weapons and support infrastructure is more geared towards urban pacification than actually invading another country.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's pretty interesting. Is it time for more numbers? Okay, I'm gonna roll 2 dice. I'm choosing the blue ones right over here.
Okay.
Okay.
We got a ton of messages from Mr. Ginsu. He left us like 30. I don't think we're going to listen to them all, but
No.
he left a lot.
Well, let's listen to the first 5 or something, or
Yeah.
just randomly select 5.
All right. Here we go.
Oh
2.
man, 1
lost
and
again.
2, yeah. You picked a 5,
I
right?
have a 5, yeah. We still have more chances to win, though. We're only
There we go.
Only
1, 2,
halfway.
and 4.
half of the dice out of 100 or
Yeah.
1,500 out of a possible 3,000 points, so we still have more time.
I have 0 points.
Yeah, me too.
Now I'm all sad. Not really.
Well, you can still come back.
Okay, I still can. I have a chance. I have a chance.
Here's a message. We're listening to this one from Alex. Let's see what Alex had to say today on the message. Here it is. So what are you going to do for Canada Day?
Well, I didn't get paid today. Otherwise, I would go and I would buy a Canadian beer. And by the way, Moosehead beer is not Canadian. It's made in Montana.
Koniki.
I could not. When I went to Canada, I could not find that beer. Gesundheit.
Hey, program.
Hey.
I know this is Lewis's last program, I think.
Yes.
Maybe.
That was yesterday.
I think.
Really?
And,
She's not going to come on anymore?
Lewis is going to Wisconsin.
yeah, I just wanted to say that
No, Alex,
I had
Lewis.
some pretty good times with Lewis and actually pretty funny times. Now we can look back and they're all funny times. But, yeah, and I probably would have never come on the show if it wasn't for Lewis looking cute that one Saturday last year. So thanks for that.
You're
And,
welcome, Lewis.
Yep, I just wanted to say safe travels and may the force be with you. Maybe one day we can ride in Jesus' holy Ferrari.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
That's so, huh?
See you later.
Bring it back to Jesus all
Yeah,
the time, Alex.
I sure hope Jesus approves of her doing this.
Yeah.
I hope he gave her the go-ahead, but that's the problem with Jesus. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of
You just gotta
guesswork.
assume.
Yeah.
gotta have
That's
faith.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I believe in having faith. Like, you know, I go and I do a thing, and I have faith that it'll work out okay.
Yeah.
It's more things and stuff in life and doing things, and you know, you turn on the light and you have faith that the light bulb is working, that sort of thing. So, you know, and you have faith in people that they're going to keep their word and be honest and not do bad things that would hurt you and stuff, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a humanist, so.
Lewis is going to Wisconsin.
What the hell is he going there for?
He's moving out of town. He's getting out of here.
Is Alex moving?
The dome,
with
no.
him?
Alex is not moving.
Is she? Why is she not coming on the program?
No, Lewis is not coming on the program.
Oh, but Alex is.
Alex is still.
Oh, I see. Okay.
She was just wishing Lewis a good trip. But,
I like Lewis. I'm going to miss him.
yeah. Alex said that Lewis was less cute in person than he was on TV.
Ha!
So if you think that we are cute, you might look out when you meet us.
I am definitely less cute in person than I am on the program. Absolutely.
Here's a message from Mr. Ginsu. He left us a lot of them.
30 messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say just randomly pick them.
We'll listen to
Or what you might want to do is pick the last 3 or 4 or something, because that would be more relevant, you know, if we do call them back. You call them back.
Hey, motherfucker.
Hey.
I had a cunt kick you.
What?
Fucking, I told you to call me back.
Uh-huh.
My ham was in the oven. Motherfucking, I ain't heard nor hair from
You think your
you.
head was in the oven?
Son of a bitch.
And Mr. Ginsu
I thought he said his hand was in the oven, but
son
maybe
of
his
a-
head was in
Was
the
he
oven.
threatening suicide if you don't call him back?
That ham jump out of the oven all on its own? Fucker.
It's only if your oven
How
is
about
gas.
call
That's the only.
motherfucker back once in a while?
Okay, we'll call you back later. Let's call him back. I'm worried about him now. I don't want him to gas himself in the oven.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't really work well if your oven is electric.
Well, you can bake your head.
Well, you can do the same thing with pot, right? You bake your head, but there's no,
Everything
your
you
hair
have to do
doesn't
that.
start on fire generally, unless you apply the flame to the cranial hairy part.
I think he might have gas. He lives in a trailer. I think trailers have gas, maybe.
Oh, they might.
Yeah.
They
Don't gas
might.
yourself. People choke on what's up? Is it propane? That's what
Well, it's the carbon dioxide. The propane is suffocating, right? You can't breathe it.
yeah.
And when it burns, it gives off all kinds of carbon dioxide. So that is also suffocating.
Ew.
And yeah, it was a frequent
An
flyer.
automatic voice
Well,
message
Mr. Gibson's not answering. Hopefully he's not in the oven.
Well, we should tell him not to kill
is
himself
not
because,
available.
that wouldn't be good.
Mr. Ginsey, get your head out of the oven.
Yeah, don't stick your head in the oven. You don't want to bake your head.
You have...
Wait, is your oven gas or electric? Because if it's electric, that would just warm your head up a lot, and that would be very uncomfortable, and that would not be okay. If it's gas, well, don't do that.
Don't do it. You have... well, think about your mother. I know you live next to your mother. What would your mother think?
Yeah, and your sister.
Yeah, your sister, your mother, they're there for you.
Yeah, they probably care. They probably care about you. So
you have
and
to have an oven.
also, I enjoy your participation in the program, and it would suck if you were not here to, offer to kick me in the cunt.
Yeah.
So there is that.
All right. Hopefully you did not leave your head in the oven for too long. Okay.
Yes.
I think that's what he said, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he left us a bunch more messages after he said he was going to do that anyway, though, so he probably did.
Well, yeah, it would stand to reason that he did not place his head in the oven, or maybe
made a lot of phone calls.
maybe he called while his head was in the oven.
Maybe it was so hot that he was...
He wanted to. It was so hot that he wanted to get hotter, just so
Well,
he could
maybe he had the
cool
other-
down and not be as hot, and then appreciate the hot.
He had the oven off. He could maybe had the oven off. Maybe he's saying that...
Well, the inside of the stove is cool if you don't turn it on.
Yeah. Maybe he's saying that his whole place is an oven because it's so hot.
It would be.
Hey, little motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
Since when does call me back mean fucking let's wait as many hours as we can to do the show before we do the show again?
What?
Huh? What the fuck, over? You don't got much more time during the day, that or you just said, oh, fuck it, I ain't calling him back.
Roger that.
Son of a bitch.
Well, he's laughing. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
God damn.
We'll call you back.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, over? What the fuck do you think you're doing, motherfucker?
What
Sitting here talking on the
Sitting
couch.
there on the couch, freaking beating your meat.
No.
Not on
I'm eating.
No, man, what the
Meat.
fuck do you think you're doing?
You could punch that, then you would be beating
Yeah.
your meat.
The pause is for fucking you say something, see? Son of a bitch. Hey, fucking Taco was talking to me whenever I'm fucking talking, son of a bitch, I come down there kicking your cunt. You
Alright.
fucker.
What? Why would you do that? I do not have that particular organ for you to kick.
Mr. Ginsey sounds virile instead of dead. So, here's 2 more messages from him. We can get through them all.
Okay.
Probably before a commercial break.
Yeah.
And then I
That's
think-
coming up soon, isn't it?
Yeah. When we get
Okay.
back from the commercial break, we'll call Freddie producer, maybe some McDonald's.
Yeah.
Maybe hear about some science or something.
Yeah. I'll tell you about quark stars.
What the fuck, over?
Roger that.
Sat there, but I don't know what's going on.
Alright, that was a message.
So, well,
That
yeah.
was a weird one.
We're just hanging out here,
Mumbling.
talking on the program.
Mumbling
Hopefully,
message.
hopefully we're well heard. It looks like I am. Unless I talk into the thing like this. Roger that. Roger, over. Over, under. Over. Underbelly.
Here's the last message.
Overholtz Road.
I figured if you start the show
Oh,
5,
like a minute ago, then fucking...
2, 1. Now
Yeah!
it's time for a commercial break.
It is time.
Dance, Oli, dance. Dance, Oli, dance. Live TV dance party. First Friday of each month. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. TCTV Studio A. 440 Yager Way. Oh yeah.
So you put that packet in the middle, and that's the thing.
coming up
On the program.
Your daily hour
Yeah!
Yeah, yep, it's pretty scary out there, folks. The government is spying on you because they think you might be a terrorist.
Listen to Bird talk like this for a whole hour. It's gonna be on tonight at
Yeah,
11:30.
we swear.
Yeah, we swear. You can call that number up there.
I get silly in a very serious tone of voice. And
Call-
it's hard to tell.
We're on this channel. Watch it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, hello. We are back once again. You're watching Your Daily Hour with me, and filmed here in Olympia, and yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah. Okay, so science. Okay, so you all know what a neutron star is, right? Do you know what a neutron star is?
No.
Okay, when a star is at the end of its life, and it's between a certain amount of mass, when the inner core is 2 or 3, I think 2, 3, or 4 times the mass of the sun, the outer core blows off, or the outer atmosphere blows off, and you're left with the heart of the star. And it shrinks and compresses, and essentially the way it works, it's made out of neutrons. And regular matter is either protons, electrons, or neutrons. And a neutron is when the electron and the proton have been combined, and they become something else. And so the star is so compressed that all the protons and all the electrons get squished together, and it becomes neutrons. And so the neutron stars are very hot, they spin very fast, and if you've ever heard of a pulsar, this is a neutron star that is spinning really fast, and the pole, one of the poles, either the south pole or the north pole, is pointing at us from time to time, and it's going like a top, it's wobbling, and it's as if there is a light shining out the top of the bottom, and it's very far away, and all we see is this light that is flashing as it points at us. A quark star is a neutron star that is more massive. There's more mass to it, and it compresses even further so that the neutrons get squished even more, and they turn into a quark soup, a strange quark matter.
Whoa.
It's more compressed. The next step is a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And a neutron star, the gravity is crazy huge. And a cork store, the gravity is even more intense, but you just add a little bit more matter to that, and it compresses even further so that the escape velocity, if you were standing on the surface, in order to escape, the velocity that you'd need to escape the surface is greater than the speed of light.
Wow.
Then it becomes a black hole. And that's why black holes are black, is because the surface gravity is so great that light cannot escape. Light can't get away from it. And so it ends up being oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Yep.
It ends up being so strong that, gum.
They can get out of there. Light can't escape.
That was nice.
So what's happening? So what, they're out there?
So, it's hard to tell the difference between a quark star and a neutron star.
Uh-huh.
They look and act and shine very, very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
But the nearest neutron star is 400 light years away, which is a long ways away.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really hard to tell the difference between one and the other. And a neutron star is only like 10 miles wide, 12 miles wide, 15 miles wide. They're really not very big. They're tiny, tiny, tiny things. And this is the mass of 2 or 3 of our suns squished down into a ball 15 miles across,
Wow.
12 miles across. That's how compressed they are.
Wow.
And it's like taking this normal matter and squeezing all the protons and electrons together, and they become a neutron, and it's packed solid. And that's why they say a teaspoon of it would weigh 50 tons or something like that. That's because it's so dense and so compressed. Yeah, that's a quark star. And they found a candidate, and so I've been reading a lot of science lately where they're talking about quark stars and the possibility of them and what they would look like and how they would behave and how we'd be able to distinguish them between a neutron star and a regular star. And currently it's just theory. We haven't actually found any. But like so many other celestial objects, they understand the physics well enough. They understand the way
the producer, yeah?
these bodies work well enough that for the most part their predictions are correct. They say, oh, there should be this thing floating out there, and it should look like this and it should look like that, because physics says, yeah, that could happen. And so they look and they say, oh, yeah, there's one. We didn't realize that's what that was. Yeah, it's doing exactly what the theory predicted. Yeah, okay, proof.
Wow.
So, yeah, quark stars.
Hey, Freddie.
Hey.
Hey, Freddie.
What are you doing?
Dan there for Monday, Dan?
Yeah, I sure am. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm moving. I'm in the process of moving.
Are you moving to a new building or just different?
No, I'm moving across the hall.
Oh, I see.
In the same apartment. Just getting a bigger room, essentially, one with a shower. Probably by the end of tonight, I'll get to take a shower. For
Yay, showers!
And, yeah.
Hey,
just
I heard that you were...
Going pretty well so far.
I heard that you were injured.
Yeah, my leg is banged up. But I'm holding together. I'm keeping going.
You were...
Keeping ice in it, and...
I had been told that you were attempting a stunt, and it went awry.
Well, I completed the stunt, but I didn't stick the landing, is what I've been saying. I did like 7 somersaults in a row down a hill, and then tried to stop and twisted my knee, and now I've been hobbling around ever since.
Oh, man. Did you see a doctor?
Not yet, but...
How's moving with your leg? Is it difficult?
Oh, it's not as fun or easy as it could be, but I've got some really good help. So couldn't do it without my mom, Matisse, and Marisa right now. So
nice.
They're just helping out.
How's
Good deal.
How's the production one coming?
It's going good. I'm not going into TCTV today. So yesterday, I dropped in the new episodes onto the server. So hopefully, it's down week. So it's hard to say how it's all going to go. But in theory, we should be on TV tonight. And if not, I'll troubleshoot all that tomorrow. But I think that we've got episodes in the Dropbox through Tuesday. And so we should be, through Wednesday, so we should be in good shape. And then once I get my desk set up, I can begin capturing the episodes that are there. I forgot to grab episodes while we were shooting our HD thing yesterday. And we got Goodbye to Lewis barbecue episode. That went really well. And I think it's going to be one of our easiest and most successful multicam HD edits yet.
Great.
Yeah, I saw a little teaser video, and I was very sad I didn't get to go.
Oh, it's time for the final dice game.
Yeah, pick a number.
Don't be sad, Dan. Don't be sad.
Yeah.
Pick a number, Freddie.
I think I still have a high outline of the 6 on my hand from 2 days ago, so that's what I'm going to stick with.
6 is it.
Here it goes. Oh, 4, 5, I won.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm the winner.
Yeah, Freddie and you won.
Oh, is there a 6? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Freddie, we both won. We both have 500 points now that the last dice is rolled. You want to share?
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Okay, great.
I'd love
Well,
to share with you.
me and Freddie are the winners.
Together.
Well, I am proud to be among winners.
Yeah. I mean, when there's more winners, than losers, you could say that we're the winners, but you could also say the Dennis is the loser.
I stand with the winners.
Yeah, you can stand. We'll let you stand next to us, but you only get to bask in our win.
Hey, Freddie, I got a weird question for you.
Yep.
Did you get paid today?
I don't think
I do not know. I hope so, because I put a whole bunch of money to my landlord.
Okay.
So hopefully that was not out of error. And that is a little personal for the program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe
we'll be talking about your finances.
I would like to talk to you about that later.
Well, I'd like to talk to you later about how it's going with your child.
Oh, great.
Have you talked about that on the program yet?
Oh, yeah, I spent 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Something like that, yeah.
I can always just watch it next week, but...
Do you have any specific questions about that, though, Freddie? If we
spent the day at Tumwater Falls yesterday.
Pardon, what?
Huh?
Tumwater Falls.
Yeah, I went with Chris and Xander to Tumwater Falls, and I met up with Kat and DJ. So it's kind of my children and grandchildren child was there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a strange
and
family
a DJ
thing.
too. That must have been fun. What kind of... Were they doing summer jams or what?
No, we just walked around the park. I
Cool.
showed Xander all kinds of sciencey things. And he's 5 years old, so I have to keep it simple, and I'm working on that. It's good practice for me, keeping it simple.
Did you see the fish?
Probably
Are
doesn't
they jumping?
understand all that science talk.
Yeah, I just want to explain everything to him, and he asked me a million questions, and I love it, too, because he's like, what's this? Why is that? How come this? What's that? Blah, blah, blah. So he has a lot of these science questions, and I just try and work to explain it in a way that a 5-year-old gets it. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Good. Passing on your knowledge to the next generation, Dan. That's really the most important thing you can do in life, I think, really.
Well, it's really important to me. I mean, this is kind of a second chance for me. When I had children that were really young, when Chris was really young, which is really interesting because I met Chris when she was 5, and now I've met Xander when he was 5. Because I married Chris's mom when she was 5, and I met Xander when he was 3 months old, but then she moved to Utah and got married and stuff. And now she's back, and Xander's here, and it's kind of a second chance for me to be kind of a better parent, so to speak. I mean, I'm not his parent, but I've had a long time. I've had, 30 years. I've had 30 years to think about parenting and what that is and how I want to behave and to be the kind of male role model that I think is good. Try to, be the kind that I would want.
You think you didn't do a good job last time, or what?
No. No, I yelled a lot and a lot of punishment and stuff. It was very Mormon-oriented kind of.
You've changed a lot since then, Dan. I've never seen you yell at a single soul, probably.
Bullies. When I've encountered bullies, I get very angry very quickly and yell and feisty and all that when I encounter bullies.
I think it's okay to bully bullies, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Bullies are the only ones that I feel a lot of hostility to. And Catherine was different. When I was with Cherie, Catherine was only over on the weekends. And so I was her parent, but her dad was still there. She would go back and she would stay with me and Cherie for a couple days, and then she would stay with her grandma for a couple days, and then with her dad. And she did this rotation for 10 years. Wow. And she was absolutely happy because everywhere she went, they were happy, we were happy to have her there. Because it was a short period of time. And she got what she wanted, right? It's like she was only going to be there for a few days, and it's like, well, what do you want to eat? And she would get what she wanted to eat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it was good. So I was sort of a parent to Catherine, and she refers to me as her Dan. So
that's kind of close to Dan. Dad, Dan.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a term of
Is that the joke though?
She's like, "You're my Dan."
It's close to Dad. Is that the joke though?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a term of endearment. Yeah, it sounds like Dad, but it's not Dad. But it's like I was a positive male role model, and that's really important to me to be that. So with Xander, there's no yelling, there's no harsh punishment, there's no this. It's reward-only training. It's all good things. Whatever is going on, if he does something I don't like, I try and work it so there's a reward for doing something that I do like, right? Because I've got all my model stuff in my little art space, and there's a lot of things that can hurt him. And so I told him he's not allowed to go back there unless I'm there or Chris is there. And he's gone back there a few times without permission. I'm like, come on. So.
What did you do? Did you punish him with positive things?
No, there was no
punishment. What do you do when he's bad?
I just go and explain to him. I just briefly explain why it's not safe for him to be there. He wants to participate in me building my spaceship. And I haven't quite figured out how he can do that, except if there was a way for him to make his own little spaceship. But it's probably better that I just wait till he goes to bed and I work on it.
Yeah.
Because it's not safe for him. There's a lot of screws and X-Acto knives and pliers and drills and the sharp metal objects.
1 minute left.
Oh, hey, 1 minute left. It's the end of the show.
All right, thanks guys for having me on the show. I'm gonna let you go and keep working here.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you for being here, making the show happen.
Yeah.
Being all hosty.
Bill was here.
Yeah.
We talked to Mr. Ginsu on a message, and Alex left a message, and we talked to Freddie.
Quark Stars.
Thanks, Canada. Happy birthday.
Not really birthday. It's just something happened way back when.
Well, happy Canada Day, Canadians.
Yeah.
If you're watching somehow.
Get your maple leaves.
You know
out.
any other Canadians? Is there any Canadians in the area?
Yeah, a couple of them. Dual citizens also.
You guys have
a few of them.
You guys have a Canadian club?
I should make a Canada club for anyone who's lived in
3,
Canada.
2.
Bye. Thanks,
Thank you, your daily hour with me, for existing. Thank you, Rice.
TVs.
Rice. Thank you, Switchboard.
Computers. Thanks, Facebook and Twitter.
Thank
YouTube.
you, Lattice.
Check out the website too.
Thank you, Clouds.
Phones, call the number. There's crew, you guys want to go to crew? Do it anytime you want though.
Thank you, texting. Thank you, textile makers,
USA, Thurston County, Washington State,
makers and metal workers.
TheBooba.com.
Thank you, printing.
Crystal Ball.
Thank you, video effects.
Jorda E.
Thank you, painters of...
Hey, it's you.
Hey,
TCTV.
thank you, B.
Thanks, viewers.
Yeah. Done.
Hell yeah, dog.
Thank you, dog.
Hell yeah.
And good night.
Bye.